telephone man.
It's the telephone man.
There's something wrong with my life.
I see my baby's number. I gotta click every time. It's the telephone man. It doesn't have
It's telephone man. Wait, no, it's telephone man. It's telephone man.
You want to see this
That's
beta
definitely
that
gonna
looks
open
like
the
a...
show.
Spectruminal.
Trinity. Spectrum. Trinity. Spectruminal. 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 Hi, we're with the Spectruminal Trinity.
Yes, we are.
We're back with episode 2. It's official. We got picked up.
Yeah,
We're
we
on
made
air. God damn it! I have my earbuds on set.
it. Rerun it.
Ratings are going through the roof.
Put it
They
back
love
in the
that.
pot.
That's going in the best of. Yeah, we're back again. We're still trying to figure out the format of the show and how to do it because now we can't just explain who we are anymore.
Yeah,
I'm just going to
no.
do that every episode for the newcomers.
No.
Yeah, of
The
course.
newcomers should be forced to start where everyone else did
Exactly.
at the beginning.
Yeah, we're
the beginning.
extremely horrible gatekeepers.
Yeah.
You're
You
like,
have
no,
to watch
you
all
have
of
to
it.
watch episode
Well,
1.
just episode 1.
The thing is, if people keeps going on until we have like 74 of these things, they're not gonna know that they have this rule.
No, for
And
sure.
we're only gonna mention this here,
Yeah.
and then
yeah.
they're gonna be like, "Well,
So really, everyone has to watch episode 1 and 2 so we can explain the rules that you have to follow.
well, I guess it means
So,
those
to
are
be
the
fair,
really,
we always do find them.
well, those are the really enlightened ones, because they knew to start from episode
Yeah.
1, so they know their place in life. Those other people's don't, and that's ignorance is even worse.
Establishing the
Can you
hierarchy,
just
I
check
see.
under there if everything's still going smooth?
Oh,
So I don't have like tism fits.
Yeah.
Spectruminal
Yeah, I watched all of
Trinity.
you. All of us just make noise for that. Perfect.
Good. That sets my mind at ease.
Good.
But
So,
you're right. How
what
do
do-
we transition?
what do we have today?
Today's tea is a Japanese cherry blossom green tea.
Japanese cherry. Oh, that's hence
Japanese
the
cherry. Should we
yeah.
explain every time why we do these?
What do you mean?
Like it's going to church. Like it's like, and now we
we should say
we sip the tea from a
now
from,
to celebrate life.
Yes, right. I think that's how we should present it. Now to celebrate life.
All right,
As we
it's
do
tea
every-
time.
Yes.
Now to celebrate life.
With the herbal juices of nature.
Ew.
Let's appreciate, and then you introduce the tea.
Okay. It is a cherry blossom green tea, and moving on in our little bases of teas conversation. Green teas.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's a green tea base. Yeah.
Yes, the green
What was
tea.
the last one?
Black tea.
Yeah.
Black tea. Okay.
So green tea, you have to brew it between temperatures of 140 to 185 degrees Fahrenheit. Otherwise, the flavor of the tea leaves will become bitter. Bitter.
Oh,
Tea.
so this is a little bitter.
No, because you did it within the right
Okay.
temperature range.
All right. Just want to make sure.
So it's going to be more refreshing.
Wonderful. Excited.
You know how like frogs have like skin? to,
Yeah, but
like-
you can't talk about the French people like this.
Well, okay. I mean, I do hate the French and their skin, but I was just like, you know how like frogs have like very like vibrant colors to tell people to not like eat them because they'll get poisoned and die.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Not just people, but yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not people, it's wildlife. But I was just thinking, like, is that the like tea's way of doing that, or like the leaf, or what is this?
Green tea is actually, it's an evergreen plant that's native in Southeast Asia.
And that's like its way of going like, well, if you don't cook me exactly right, this is gonna taste like shit.
Yeah.
So some people probably for a long time never found out how to do that, so they always thought it tasted like shit.
It's got a very...
now we've conquered it. That's
like-
little son of a bitch.
Compared to black tea, it's got a very low, like, brewing point. Because with black tea, I had to get that up to like 200 degrees.
So what does that do to like what does that mean for the flavor of the drink?
It depends. Like, the colder the water you brew with for green tea, the more sweeter and refreshing it will be.
Okay.
And then if you don't brew black tea strong enough, the flavor is just kind of watered down because it's meant to be brewed for like a really high heat.
Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I'm what I'm looking for and the differences between the tea tastes.
Well, you're trying to refine your palate.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn, you know? I'm trying to be like, oh, this is...
We could be the tea cunts of, like, the wine industry.
I mean,
You gotta aerate the flavors.
Yeah. Is there tea tasting? Are there tea experts?
Oh, yeah.
There are?
Yeah.
Isn't that what most tea parties are? Am I wrong? Is that not what...
Is
A
that
lot of
why?
it depends what time and period you're going for.
Okay, yeah, I guess. It's just in my head, from my understanding, I always just assumed it was like, yeah, try this tea. It wasn't like... I mean,
It's fascinating. Because I've never thought about what the purpose of a tea party is.
Well, it's just a social gathering. Like, you're just there to, like, bullshit. Or show off, sometimes, probably.
With my special tea, with refined taste.
Oh, yeah, and this was actually grown 100 years ago in Egypt.
Ooh,
And
you got the Egypt 100 years ago flavor?
Except with tea, it's like, this was homegrown.
yeah. In Egypt 100 years ago.
I
And
want to
like
write that.
in the best soil with compost.
Yeah, what's skit?
Well, like, it's either, you know how, like, it's like, people have those, like, makeup shows where, like, someone who, like, sells makeup or whatever, like, goes to a woman's house and she has all her friends come. It's kind of like a pyramid scheme if you think about it. But then they're just
My
like...
mom used to do that with jewelry.
Oh, like Avon?
Yeah, it's jewelry, too.
She'd have
It's
jewelry
mainly targeted
shows.
towards the female gender, which doesn't exist anymore. But...
I don't know if that's progressive or not.
I don't know either.
But
no, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. but like, I want to write that skit of either like it being sold to them like that, like how like house moms would like look at like like in jewelry, or it's like a drug deal.
Yeah, no.
Or like buying vapes, like something like that. Like you go to your local smoke shop, but no, it's like a tea. Like, oh, I got the tea.
The tea. This is top shelf tea.
And Mr. T is selling it.
Yeah.
This is top shelf tea.
It's top shelf
well,
tea.
this particular brand of tea is not top shelf, but
Ooh, what makes you say that?
it's a tea bag.
And you said you weren't gonna use tea bags.
No,
I said I hate them.
explicitly
Whoa.
that she was gonna use tea bags.
She did.
I said I hate tea bags, but today's tea was in a tea bag. But it's fancy tea bags. It's a little sachet.
And why did you stoop down to Big T's level with their stupid fucking bags that kill turtles?
Actually, these ones are reusable.
Touche.
Are tea bags reusable?
Yeah. So long as you clean them out.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
I always thought they were like meant to be disposable.
Well, like Lipton tea bags are. These are like sachets, so it's like a washable material. I'll show it to you, actually. You can pass this around to smell it.
Jesus Christ, man.
That was great. I'm
That's
excited.
that's that good tea, right?
Yeah, that's. It smells like it's gone through 100 journeys.
What pilgrimage this one is on? Ooh.
Well, because that's obviously like the contrast. It's like, yeah, this smells like it's from Italy
Yeah,
over
the
here.
hard stuff is like the most tame shit. To nowadays. This smells
They're like, yeah, I grew this in my backyard, and it's the best tea you've ever had.
It smells like my finest garden.
Should we try the tea before we get into the tea?
Oh, I completely forgot we should try it.
It's tiny, I know.
Is this culture appropriation?
Only if you look at it.
I'm
that
just
way.
trying to get us canceled at this point. I like this.
Figured.
Yeah, I also like that.
Why? Is it because I have a shit palate for tea bags?
No, it's a fruity tea.
What makes a fruity tea?
The cherry blossom.
You know, I shit on all those fucking people at their tea parties, but now I get it. It is good.
So can I consume the little thing in there?
What do you
The
mean?
spoon?
No, there's a little
The dregs?
oh, hold on, a little black thing in there. Can I consume that?
No.
Oh,
That is a bomb. I don't
That
know
is
how that got
poison.
there.
did you just put it back in?
No, I wiped it off.
No, you can't have that. If you have a fraction of this, you'll immediately combust. There you go.
6 later,
It's not in there.
kind was never seen again.
But green teas are similar to black teas because they're enjoyed during the morning, like after breakfast, or you can do it a little later in the afternoon after lunch.
So, when it comes to the flavor of the tea, which is what I'm really trying to understand, if you haven't picked up on it yet,
Tis fruity.
is it the fruity taste that makes this feel lighter than the last one we had,
No,
or is that because it's a black tea and it's brewed higher or hotter?
this is because it's a green tea and it's brewed lower.
Okay,
Ah.
I was trying to understand what to associate the base
I was say, and the
feeling or taste.
the fruity flavor is definitely an additive that is to go well with the refreshing nature of green tea.
But the base determines how smooth it is.
Yes, kind of.
Whoa. I actually feel like I learned something there.
And the black tea's heavier,
Yeah, because you have to brew it at a higher temperature.
Wow,
Dude,
educational.
what did fucking science teach us?
Witchcraft,
All that.
actually.
just thought about-
Literally, that was all science.
Yeah, you're right.
It started out as witchcraft.
Witch. Science is just the modern version of witchcraft.
Well, medicine made from herbs.
No, I gotta say, I think science was always witchcraft.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because when women did science, it was witchcraft.
You're right.
When men did science, it was revolutionary.
The Enlightenment. Shout out to my boy John Locke.
You name any other Enlightenment thinker?
Shout out to my boy Thomas Jefferson. I don't think that's right.
Who was
Ben Franklin.
Who was the one guy from France?
Napoleon.
No.
He had an S name.
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Socrates? No.
No, I thought that too. That's just another philosopher. I don't know. It's probably not important.
Who's the French guy who had the most poetic ending with the guillotine? The guy who became the tyrant?
Napoleon Dynamite?
No.
Napoleon
It's
Bonaparte?
it's not Napoleon. It's
Oh.
like Sir France Ferdinand?
No, that is the guy who
Franz
assassinated
Ferdinand's
that.
outside of a deli.
Oh, yeah, that's that guy. He had a sandwich. That was the craziest part. I was watching, I can remember watching that. I don't remember anything from fucking freshman year, except for that shit.
Yeah.
Where the guy was just like, he had a sandwich. And I was like, who the fuck said that? Huh? What eyewitness was like, dude, he had a really good sub.
He actually ordered my favorite thing on the menu. I took it when he died. Ew.
Dude, lucky me. Not so much for that guy, but
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? Start a world war?
That was good.
How?
Sorry, where were we at?
I don't know, but can I take a minute to appreciate Newman's joke earlier about... Okay, so...
You got this buddy.
Yeah, well, we should establish that we have a larger friend group.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
we plan to spend...
It's not just us three losers.
I mean, a holiday together. And I was like, yeah, you guys want me to write a little D&D campaign one shot for us to play. And someone responded, was like, oh, that's a great idea. And then I was like, well, it doesn't have to be D&D. It could just be just any type of game. I can just host it or whatever. And my friend Newman responded in their little Snapchat group chat. He goes, Russian roulette's a really good one-shot game. And I just thought
it's really good.
I thought it was so... I didn't laugh, but I was like, that's really good. I like that.
I was with him when he opened that, your response to it, and he was like, fucking asshole.
Good.
Because you were like, I didn't laugh at it, but it's really good.
Well, I
Which
didn't.
does sound passive-aggressive. I know you meant well, but it was like, yeah, you're like, I didn't laugh, but that's good, dude.
Well, because to me, it's about the art of the joke. It's not about...
No, I completely agree with you, but I understand why he would be like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
no, I get it. Can I have more tea?
Yeah.
Yeah, can I have some too?
Yeah.
We're actually asking for seconds. That should say a lot.
Can we do our first? Yeah.
Some fruity motherfuckers.
Well, only
It's
on Saturdays.
2023. Okay. Calm it down.
Hey, I also have more honey? Where did that go?
I put sugar in it.
Oh, you put sugar in it?
I thought you put honey in it.
No, I put honey in it first time, but I'm having you try it with sugar this time.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, you did that last time. Yeah, I remember that.
Sir, did you know that you're actually drinking on decaffeinated coffee crystals?
Sir, do you realize that you are not drinking regular coffee, but Colombian decaffeinated coffee crystals?
What?
I said, you're drinking Colombian decaf coffee crystals.
Fun fact, I can turn that into a latte too.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, when you got so excited.
I felt my dick move. That's how like that's how like excited I got. I was like, latte.
Isn't it crazy when that happens? Just,
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often for me, but when it does,
Especially a beverage.
yeah.
No one's ever like Gatorade.
Well, more not. Somebody surely is.
Ooh. My God.
Tell me about this tea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Telling some history about it now,
I love history.
which I'm gonna have to read like right off of this, because there's a lot of words. The roots of this tea run deep into Southeast Asia, as well as China. Again, like most teas, the first like brewing process of this is speculated, but it's widely accepted that the first use of green tea as a tea instead of a medicinal herb was, what was the exact era? 2737 BC.
2737 BC.
During the reign of Emperor Xiong.
I cannot imagine what that is like. That's how
No
old that
idea.
is. I have no fucking clue.
Oh, just wait, because Xiong, a mythical figure.
Excuse me?
He's a mythical figure.
Who is?
Xiong, the
Xiong?
emperor. Mythical figure.
Like he didn't exist?
Is he an episode topic that I could have?
Yeah.
Is this debated?
He's considered a god.
What do you mean?
Because he's like the god of medicinal herbs and like agriculture.
But he's
So
a real guy?
They called inventors like gods back then? I mean, that makes
I
sense.
don't know if he was like fully a real guy or if he was just, I would assume there's probably someone that's based on him. They just gave him the name Emperor Xiong. The whole legend behind him discovering green tea, I think you will both giggle at.
I would love to giggle.
I enjoy a good giggle.
I hate that giggle.
The story begins, him and his little convoy are going on a quest, right?
I love that you're telling this story like this.
All of a sudden, when they're resting, you know, he's got his cup of hot water to like sip to soothe his throat. All of
Yeah.
a sudden, these leaves fall from the sky.
Fuck up.
A breeze carries them, and they rest gently in his cup.
This is something that goes to Tsushima. This isn't real.
Was it boiling water he was sipping, or?
Well, it's hot water. It doesn't have
was
to be
it
boiling.
at
It's
whatever
green
the
tea.
fuck you need to
Look at me.
boil it at?
It
Something
doesn't
that
have to
doesn't
be.
taste like shit.
It doesn't have to be high because it's green tea. I didn't bring this to a boil. This was not brought to a boil. This is just steamed.
Oh.
So
Well.
you steamed his fucking water? How do you do that? Rub it a lot? Press 2 sticks against it?
They had pots,
I
Gavin.
understood fire.
I thought you said he was on horseback in the fucking woods.
He's a convoy. He's rich. He's an emperor.
I'm literally imagining a Ronin traveling with a fucking
But
sword.
this motherfucker didn't know. He didn't notice the change of his watercolor. So he took a sip and was delighted with the flavors he found, the refreshing nature of the leaves.
I'm so happy with that line read.
I'm happy you're telling the story this way.
Right? This is exactly how
That
I
can just
pictured
be
it.
over like a montage of shit.
And his
dude.
quest got overshadowed in search for these tea leaves. He wanted more.
Addicted? See, these
He
were
brought
drugs.
it.
Caffeine in a man. I don't know.
Yeah. He brought it. He integrated this shit into his culture.
They are drugs.
What was it? An opiate crisis over there in
Yeah.
Asia?
To think that opiates are gonna be.
But this
looked
is
at
the
as tea
first-
at some point.
This was the first ever recorded process of tea being brewed.
What do you mean?
Like, the oldest record of green tea being brewed is that legend.
There's a story.
Fuck. There's just so much you have to sift through to find that out.
Yeah.
To be like, nah, this is the first.
And then on, like, further down the line, during the... Which dynasty? As far as 3,000 years ago, the Tang dynasty, I believe. It's the Tang dynasty. They're 5th century around.
5th century?
5th century Tang dynasty.
So they survived for 5 centuries.
I believe the bloodline did, yes.
Damn.
Imagine being ruled by the same fuckers for 500 years.
Imagine being the last one and knowing it.
But it became
That's cool.
But it became integrated.
Sorry, go on.
No, you're fine. It became integrated into their culture as a social pastime, and they began doing tea ceremonies. Which
Tea ceremonies
are kind of more intense but they have like a whole process of doing it. I don't know the whole process yet. I was going to save that for a later episode for a different tea set that I have.
Honestly, we should get some tea pets, man.
I have one.
You have
What?
one?
It's a little dragon.
A literal fucking dragon for our cult? Can we ride him?
Absolutely not. No.
In some artwork we can.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I got
Available
new
on our
oil
Patreon.
paints.
What?
I got new oil paints. I can paint this.
Yeah, no.
Can Gavin be like shirtless and very, very buff,
Very skinny, a skeleton.
holding like a black sword with long flowing? It still has to be Gavin, but with long flowing
This
like
is
hair.
nothing like me. This is the person I wish I was. Conan, basically.
On a
But,
dragon with a sword.
I have to place my microphone down to demonstrate how they do this in the tea
'Cause
ceremonies.
that was the full image. To be clear.
it's just... Imagine on a resume, like, where do you see yourself in, like, 10 years? Oh, a dragon, super buff. Long blonde hair with a black sword. Oh my god. Oh, I'm liking this episode.
That'd be really funny.
Oh my god. Dude, I'm so happy I have this now. So I can look back on it when I'm feeling like shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So can our patrons.
Oh. Sorry, Haley.
No, you're fine. Continuing with the tea ceremony. I don't know much about that. So I was going to save it for a later episode with a different teapot that I have, because I feel like it's more fitting for the whole process.
Okay.
But there's only like one thing that sticks out in my mind that I like learned about them, and it's towards the end of the tea. Like I have to demonstrate it. Towards the end of the tea ceremony, when you're getting to the last drops of the tea, instead of just putting it aside, you get every last drop out, and they are the sweetest drops of the tea. So you try to balance them evenly throughout all of the cups.
Oh.
That's so honorable.
I
I
know.
love that.
And then the flavor profile of this obviously is fruity with like an airy not texture, but an airy feeling. It's more smooth going down than the black tea.
Later.
Yes.
Alright. That's what I understood it as. I'm very happy. I understand that.
Mm-hmm. And the flavors that pair well are melons, such as what we have here, which is honeydew. Just because I hate cantaloupe. I'm so sorry. I will mourn that loss later.
Yeah, I feel this. I'm like, I don't know. I have to scrub my mouth.
Really?
Yeah.
But fun fact, these actually green teas are said to pair well with barbecue. Like with any like
That's fascinating.
yeah, with
I
like
would-
cooked chicken and turkey with like
You know
seasons.
what? We should try that.
Yeah.
I will work on it. Trust me.
Really?
Wonderful news.
And then it also
I might not have a story for that.
Yeah, we're just gonna be eating that episode.
that's our mukbang
It's a live
episode.
stream, probably.
But it also pairs well with seafoods,
Archived, to be clear.
chocolates, which is why matcha works so well with white chocolate. But grapes, blueberries, And then I liked pears personally because I feel like it adds to the fruity flavor with the cherry blossom in it.
Awesome.
Now, is the pear just a bad apple?
I love pears.
I know, but I look at this and I'm like, this is an apple that just has leprosy or something.
I don't know. I look at this and I think when I taste
That's
pears
a weapon.
from a can, they seem to be a lot better than this.
I love this more than pears in a can.
They're more like, maybe because they sit in their own fluid, they have a more flavor to me.
That's
Maybe
not their
I'm
own
just
fluid.
like-
That's sugar water.
Yeah, it might just be sugar.
Sugar's fine with me, man.
That's most of America.
I love I love raw pear.
Raw bear.
That's right. We're going raw this episode. Just like Zach Baggins.
We're not slitting our wrists though.
Because we are pussies.
Operation Zammy is a go.
Zammy. Zammy whammy!
I'm gonna need that voice clip later.
You can get it yourself when it goes up.
No, I can't.
Nah. I don't have OBS.
Alright, Gavin, when do you bring bros today?
Well, we don't know what the bid is with me yet. What am I?
You're Space Master Gavin.
Space Master.
Yeah, but my thing doesn't really relate to space right now. At least the thing I brought. I'm like, this doesn't relate to space. Or maybe it could. Never mind. Let's go with it. I'm Space Master.
No, Time Master Gavin sounds so much better to me.
But I don't deal with time, really, do I?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm trying to get that bug.
maybe.
Bug?
Yeah, you went like I thought you were trying to
Oh,
kill
no,
that bug.
that was a bit for one person who'll never watch this.
Alright. So, I'm Time Master Gavin. And I bring news of
Of all times.
the oddities of time.
We'll work on it.
Yeah, we're rolling with it. We'll rewrite, re-edit. Nothing is sacred. Everything is permitted.
Everything.
Nothing is sacred. Everything is permitted. The autistic trinity. I bring news of this demon that's been plaguing our lands that might not be real, but I want to think is real because it'd be cool.
How our is our? Like
do you
our
mean?
lands or like our in like the general sense?
Our in the general sense.
Okay.
The universe, our lands.
Oh, I found something local. I was impressed.
Oh no! Nothing goes
Soon.
on around here Nothing goes on around here in Washington D.C. where we filmed this.
In Washington D.C.
In Washington D.C.
The big old DC.
District of something.
I was thinking of Dick Cubine, but I guess that works too.
You say Dick Cupine?
Dick Cubine.
Like a concubine, but with a dick?
Well,
Or I heard like porcupine, Dick Cubine.
No, I'm thinking of a place that like stores dicks, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, that Area 51.
And like silos?
Yeah, Dick Cube. You open it up and they just flop out. It's like Charlie's Closet. So I talk about paranormal stuff because I really like the paranormal. And last episode we got talking about bears, and I kind of just want to talk about bears more. And you always want to talk about bears. I guess that's where I'll start off. Bears are fucking awesome. That video you sent me of fucking the bear climbing onto the tree to get to a birdhouse that was on.
I was doing trapeze, man.
It was like the Flying Graysons.
Like doing.
Especially when there's two bears in one cave.
We don't talk about them. Those fucking idiots.
I just wanted to see your face.
Those talentless hacks. Those people who haven't achieved anything. I'm totally not projecting. And I wanted to look up like bear cryptids or like ghost bear, and I was like, I wonder if anyone's ever spotted a fucking ghost bear. Like someone's gonna be on Reddit and they're gonna be like, a fucking ghost bear showed up at my house to deliver my package.
You know what a solar bear is?
No.
Me neither.
As I was going through that, I found that there was something a lot more interesting than just a fucking stupid bear spirit. What I found in place of that was the phantom kangaroo.
Oh no.
You went from bear to kangaroo.
Well, I didn't. The internet did. And I'm fine with it because I like what I found.
Alright.
So, I got a lot of this information from X Project Paranormal Magazine. And no, it's not the most credible source, but it is a source nonetheless. This article was written in January 30th of 1999.
I hate you.
Why?
I got this from a magazine written 24 years ago.
The article goes on to elaborate that the phantom kangaroo was like a cryptid that was spotted around like 1957 to 1967. That was like the biggest span, and it was in Minnesota, of Coon Rapids.
Wait, you say Minnesota?
Minnesota is where.
There was
Fucking
a
Minnesota.
ghost kangaroo.
Yes, they're spotted in America only. That's why it's called a phantom kangaroo.
It's like the spirit of dead Aussies on our land.
Well, it's like the scary thing is like you're not expecting to go out to the wilderness in America and then see a kangaroo, something that is
An ethereal kangaroo.
yeah. Well, I mean that's kind of where the idea of phantom comes from. Is calling it a phantom kangaroo because some people just think they're real fucking kangaroos and they just like slip in through time dimensions and then just like hop around and they're just like, that's a phantom kangaroo, it doesn't belong here, how did it get here? Like the Madagascar situation of getting shipped in the box while a penguin hijacks your boat. Probably not. It came through a timeline loop.
You said that like Eminem finishing a bar.
And I can't blame them because if I saw a kangaroo in Atlanta I would shit my pants. But
Yeah.
where was I going with this? Oh yeah,
In
but
Minnesota.
even though that was the biggest spike of it, it was in Minnesota. It's
What do you mean biggest spike? What
well,
happened?
because it's been cited throughout.
It's been reported multiple times.
throughout a
What if
century.
it's just the same kangaroo?
A century?
The first sighting was in 1899 of a phantom kangaroo, and it was just like the story of like a rancher coming out and then just like walking out, and then some, he hears a rustling in the cattle, and then he comes like he goes to
There's
the
a
barn.
kangaroo kicking the shit out of his cows.
I don't know if it was kicking the shit out of it or like, I mean it's a kangaroo, so like it definitely could just go like and then just like puncture its lungs, but like but like I think it said like it was like a vampire like sucking on it, and then it
Oh.
got spotted and then bounced away probably.
So is this like the Midwest chupacabra?
I was about to say.
Kind of it, but it's a kangaroo. Think of it as a regular kangaroo. It does say it has paranormal
So almost a
powers.
whole vampire.
True. Well,
You're like a super vampire, dude.
there did come a time where I did think that like, man, the kangaroo that's a cryptid that got explained away.
Yeah.
Like think if you found a fucking kangaroo in like a FromSoft game, that would be the thing that scares you because it's
Dude.
like close to man, but it's also a beast. It's like 75% man, but it's got some beast in it.
You ever watch Kangaroo Jack?
Yes, it's fucking awful. But
I love the animated one.
I always saw advertisements for that, and I was like,
had it on-
this
I don't VHS.
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 Oh my fucking god! But yeah, kangaroos are scary. Kangaroo Jack is supposed to be this like cool Cheeto
Mama said
eating
knock you
like kangaroo. He's definitely mimicked after the Cheeto Man. But like,
The Cheeto?
yeah,
Chester the cheetah.
I mean, if you look at them, they're very similar. The vibe, they have sunglasses and they're animals that stand on two legs with tails. One wears an orange sweatshirt, the other is orange. I think they get around in the same clip.
Have
is
you
what I'm
seen kangaroo babies?
What do you mean?
Like in the pouch?
No. Oh wait, when you like they like look inside and it's just like it's like Death Stranding.
Yeah.
It's an alien.
It isn't it. That's what I'm saying, dude.
They
They're
get
fucking
fed
cryptids.
milk through a tube.
Well, so do we.
I know, but like there's a special tube that literally just produces milk from inside the pouch.
Does it feel like a gerbil?
Yes.
Even though it was spotted mainly in what was it, Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Minnesota. How do you not know your own story?
Minnesota.
I'm not a great note taker.
Oh, that's fine.
But it was also spotted in California, Illinois, Wisconsin, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Ohio, and so I guess it is.
Where?
I didn't say that. I'm working with what is it? X paranormal fucker.
You didn't do further research based on this?
No, I did, and it led me down a cool rabbit hole.
Okay, good. Well, keep going.
But Listen, dude, I gotta come clean with you. I don't think there's phantom kangaroos. I don't think anyone in Ohio saw a phantom kangaroo.
What do you mean? The article said.
That it's there?
Yeah.
I know. I know it said that.
You're telling me this credible source that you're getting all of your information from
to talk about something I find
probably
fascinating?
wasn't right about something.
Yeah.
Whoa.
My favorite sources are the ones that are biased. Oh yeah. One guy supposedly hit a phantom kangaroo with his car.
Another wasn't a phantom.
Did the kangaroo go flying?
Well,
like the moose?
The guy elaborates to say that neither the person who hit the kangaroo or the kangaroo were found or heard from. So I was just like, who is this?
He took him in the
Wait,
dimension
so how'd
with
they know
him.
They got...
Right? Who is this mystery person?
Like, did you watch it?
Yeah, were you like peeking up from the bushes and then you were like, oh my god, it's a phantom kangaroo.
And
Oh
then
my
they
god,
just,
it's
like,
real.
Ran?
And it gets hit by a car. Can you imagine you're a kangaroo that jumped into another timeline and you get hit by a fucking car?
Well, that's the thing. Like, they're like deer down
Family
there.
Guy death pose.
If you, there's like kangaroo crossing signs, so you don't get fucking bodied by a kangaroo in your car.
That there might be one there now because of this incident.
That'd be so.
That's
fucking
like
funny.
the star on the ground where
That-
JFK got shot. but for a kangaroo.
Gavin, you gotta just explore all of Ohio and find the kangaroo
Find
crossing
the
sign.
It's gonna be like etched. in the
That's
fucking
our
snow.
quest.
Oh my god, we're gonna find the phantom kangaroo. That's the documentary that gets made
I
about
like
us.
that shirt, like just like a ghost kangaroo crossing sign.
Phantom Kangaroo is definitely the documentary that gets made about us when we go missing trying to find the Phantom Kangaroo and we just find our tape afterwards. We're like Blair Witch Project. Oh yeah, this was also fascinating to me though. I got this from another source called Cryptid Wiki. Again, I understand this might sound bad, but
Is it like a forum?
Wait, say it again. It sounded like a record scratch.
it's Cryptid Wiki.
Could be Ricky.
That's something that's something Eminem says on the Real Slim Shady. Like that would definitely show up on his first album. It's one of the things in the background. I don't give a fuck.
Nah, he definitely says that in like the last or one of the rap battles in 8 Mile. Like these big quick wiki.
Clarence just fucking balls into tears and digs himself a hole, buries himself up like a Looney Tune.
Digs himself a hole in the stage.
But very fast. Like, again, Looney Tune style.
And then just dives back.
He just like puts it all over him with his giant ass hand. But the Cryptid Wiki said that some of these sightings of the phantom kangaroo actually fit the description of an extinct type of giant short-faced kangaroo called, I'm gonna try again, I'm sorry if I offended any short-faced kangaroo by getting this name wrong. What, short-faced kangaroo is also definitely a racial slur.
Yeah, no, I was...
But you can determine who it's towards.
My coworker said if you keep talking to me like that, I'm gonna leave your teeth up today, and
Oh, shit.
fucking
That sounds like a
lost it.
Shakespeare line.
God, I need to use that.
Teeth up,
Teeth
dude?
up.
Yeah.
Next customer that pisses me off, I'm gonna leave you teeth up, buddy. Keep
Listen,
talking.
motherfucker, you see those teeth? They're gonna be up.
Your teeth ain't gonna be down no more.
But again, it's called the Procoptontodon. Say it with me now.
Procopotandodon?
I did not spell this wrong, okay? I made sure
Should I
to...
try to read the word?
No, because I got chicken scratch, okay? I'm self-conscious about
Those
it.
are hieroglyphs over there.
What?
Pro
Pro.
COP
Cop.
Cop.
TOD
TOD?
TOD
Todd? Toad?
ON
Procoptodon?
Procroptodon. We got
Procroptodon.
there. We got there.
Did we? Is that what you spelled? I just tried.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
cool.
what I spelled. Now we didn't offend
Procoptodon.
anybody. And I just found that fascinating to either think that it's like a kangaroo that got itself like through a wormhole, or either like the ghost of also like I was trying to think of like, well, what could it be? I was like, maybe it's a kangaroo that got Madagascar, sure. And then I was like, maybe it's the interdimensional time hopping. And I was like, well, maybe it's a ghost of a kangaroo that was in a circus or some shit.
What do you mean by interdimensional time hopping?
I mean, I just
You
assume
hop
it's
and
like
you're in a different time.
Is that something like people like go into?
no, that's just something I'm saying because I understand what is in my head. Like I'm just thinking of it as like you're traveling through time, but you're like going through dimensions. And this kangaroo just has the ability to do that for some reason because of the way the
And
universe
then he
works.
gets hit by a car.
Yeah, and he can just explore the world as this kangaroo, because they're like some mystical symbol that we don't understand.
Like what we believe after death.
Kind of, yeah. But they're like there's some symbol that we can't understand yet. Maybe this is getting added to the lore. Kangaroos are a symbol for some reason because they can hop through dimensions.
Now I gotta get a kangaroo tea pet.
And kangaroos are the only ones who can hop through dimensions until we find another one that hops through dimensions, because we probably will find one. But then I was also like, well, it could just be a circus animal. Like, because, you know, but a dead one. Like, it is a ghost. Like, let's say it's a ghost, but it came from the circus. But then there was also, like, what else? Yeah, it's right. No, that's not there. I don't take good notes. Yeah, I was like, well, but then other people were like, well, maybe it broke out from a zoo. But then on cryptozoology or whatever the fuck wiki is called, it said the only documented escape of roo. They make sure to use that term, and I don't feel extremely comfortable saying that, but we're gonna continue with it. The only documented thing of like a roo escaping, it was written down in 1968. The only one.
Ever?
Well, documented.
And I find that hard to believe.
That is an interesting, like...
He said roo, and it made me think of how, my grandma, someone thought she was being racist when she was saying coon at work. And she was just talking about how she had to shoot a coon in the barn because it kept trying to get into our trash.
Oh.
And she's like, what? No, I'm talking about a damn raccoon.
I mean, at first I started to think about, like, well, how many zoos are there in the United States?
A lot. There's no more pandas in them.
But that's
No
what
more
I mean.
pandas?
Did you know about it?
I didn't know about
Wait, there's no more pandas in zoos?
Oh, yeah. So China took all of the pandas back for the not-friendly countries.
Oh, I heard about this.
So they just, like... There's no pandas in America now. Or nothing, no China pandas.
If this isn't a sign to side with them, I don't know what is.
You know, I actually went into the ethics and I thought about it the other day. Like,
of saving the pandas?
no, but like, what's stopping us from just like teaming up with like China and taking over the world?
It's a good question.
Like, why not? We already try to control all of it. If we just teamed up with someone who hated us, I'm sure we could get it done.
And then stab them in the back once it's all
Yeah,
complete.
because we're gonna think they're gonna do it to us, so
Yeah,
we're gonna do it first.
well, I just think it's pure out of greed. Just like, no, I want it. It's mine.
Yeah.
The girl
corporate greed. Send us your money to cleanse.
But I was trying to think of the actual statistics for that. Like, well, how many kangaroos are in a zoo? How many zoos are there out there in the world?
I don't think many animals escape from zoos, though, in general.
Right?
Not
It's a low
anymore.
chance. And that's what I was...
Again, I don't know. I mean,
I wish we had, like,
didn't-
Tristan here, so we could, like, work
Dude.
out the statistics where he's like, well, if there's this many zoos, and 2 kangaroos per zoo, and then that would leave 10,000 kangaroos.
Dude,
And
my...
if you take into consideration, in 1994, there was a zookeeper shortage, so...
Right? It all goes into it, and it's like, well, the possibility of...
So that's going to skew as an outlier in our data set, so, you know, we gotta ignore that one.
And then
We gotta have
the
him
po-
as a guest. I have a fourth
Oh,
teacup
yeah.
to this set.
But then, like, then he's like, and the possibility of Roo escaping is 7%, I would say. But I'm wondering if it's that low.
You think so?
It might be, because how many animals escape from a zoo?
Honestly, that seems high to me. Because of how many animals escape from... I don't know.
But I don't think it's, like, 40.
No. I wish we were big enough so, like, a zookeeper could be like, hey, you idiots.
He'll find... He knows all the statistics. He's like Edward Nygma. Just, like, he's obsessed with zoos.
It's 0.97% chance for a roo to escape on any given day.
I would just ask, like, okay, what about a gorilla? Just wait next episode. What about a fish?
My bear lore runs deep.
What do you mean?
My great-grandma Dorothy.
Which...
Great Grandma Dor. Is she the one that got turned into the Bear and Brave?
No, but when she... Okay, so she would go to the
That's her Grandma
zoos.
Greta.
No, that's Grandma Webb.
Madam Web? What the fuck?
Grandma Webb.
Can't wait for that movie.
It's
But
a movie?
Great Grandma
Oh, yeah.
I
Dorothy.
didn't know if it was show or movie. Sorry, we're talking about something else.
You're fine. Great Grandma Dorothy. She goes to the zoo all the time, Toledo Zoo. This is back before they had like
Bears.
no, they had bears.
They didn't know they existed.
They had bears, but they weren't like put away like they are now. You know, when zoos were less safe.
Oh, so they were just like roaming the zoo.
Not roaming, but they could have easily been.
Wait, what? What kind of world is this?
Toledo-
For now.
The animals just roam the streets?
But she would get these bears to do like tricks by using.
Fucking witch, dude.
Did she train them to do it, or did the staff? Because if she did it, I would blow my fucking mind. Could you imagine going into work the next day and the bear can juggle? Be like, what the fuck is going on?
But she would sway them with gumdrops.
The bear can suddenly balance on a ball.
He has a Rubik's
Dude,
Cube.
they'd stand up and do like the whole like come here, give it to me thing with their paw because for these fucking gumdrops.
I mean, they do know that. Like, I'm sure you've seen this video.
She had him doing circles too. She had him like spinning around, twirling.
I mean, they understand that, like, if they do this stuff, they'll get
They'll
food.
get food, yeah.
I mean, have you seen those videos?
Where he catches the fucking...
Yeah,
That too.
Yeah.
But the videos of, like, bus tours in, like, the woods where these bears, like,
Bears
see the
are
bus
very
coming
smart.
and know if they walk up to it, like a human would.
Yeah,
Like, standing on their
like,
2 feet,
Yeah.
they'll know they'll get treats. So
Bears
they
are very
know to
smart.
do that instinctively when they see buses because it's going to get them food.
It's easy food.
But yeah, she'd have him doing fucking
Lazy
tricks and all
fucks.
that.
Why do you think Winnie the Pooh is the way he is?
Pantless, crop top.
He's depressed? I don't know.
I like
Pantless.
thinking about that. It's so true that he doesn't wear pants, but to think of, like, I don't know, someone with the
Mickey
body...
Mouse just nips out all the time,
Someone
dude.
with the body proportions of like Pam from Stardew Valley with like no.
I've still
no
never
pants
seen
on.
anything from Stardew Valley.
You're a menace.
Me?
Yeah, Stardew Valley's...
You literally called me a Stardew Valley character. Why do I need to play it when I already am
so
one?
True. Everyone who's played the game is going, oh my god, they're so right.
Yeah. I mean, once they know her, for sure, they'll be like, yeah. Especially with the whole tattoo thing. That's definitely like a Stardew Valley like add-on.
He's like a mix of Abigail and Leah.
Who?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I gotta look these people up on our break.
You gotta play the game.
No.
No,
Yes.
play the game.
No. Buy it for me.
There's gonna be one time where all we talk about is Stardew Valley because like Concerned Ape comes out with his new
Do
game.
not do that for my Christmas present.
Let's do it.
Why is that coming?
Don't.
Do we know when that's happening?
31st.
Really?
I thought we all agreed on 31st.
No.
Oh,
We're
no.
talking about man shit.
The haunted chocolatier?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, soon. Like
The what?
I think next year, if
It's
not.
the Stardew Valley's creator's next game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Game.
I want to get the board game. The board game's so cute, dude.
Right?
It's so just.
It's so
Oh, dude,
awesome to
I
see that type of
watched-
physical media. Look.
Yeah, dude. I watched like a video on it, and it's just like. It just made me happy.
Right.
I was like, this is. It's beautiful. It's just like it's like a cute little game. I love it.
We need
What
to start
device do I need for Stardew Valley?
Any,
Switch, PlayStation.
I can buy it
Xbox,
for you
PC.
on your phone.
Yeah.
No.
Don't play the phone version.
No, yeah, please don't. But
We
like
should make a world. The three of us.
the three of us.
Yeah.
I'd be so down.
That could be our cult farm. We could name it something.
We have to do like a let's play if we're gonna do that though.
I'm so down with that.
I mean, me
You
too.
finally get to download OBS, you fucker.
It's expensive.
Touche.
You're already buying me Stardew Valley.
I mean, that's fair.
What about Stardew Valley?
So what's up with this ghost unicorn thing?
Yeah, what were we talking about again? The stupid fucking room?
The spectral roux.
Some people just think that this thing is just a full-on fucking specimen, like a new specimen that hasn't been classified yet.
So what is
Full-on
it?
cryptid idea
Can
thing I was
you-
talking about.
What does it look like?
A kangaroo. There's literally a painting out there of like just a kangaroo in the fucking woods.
Flash this up.
It's just a kangaroo.
Yeah, but it is a weird picture because it's not supposed to be in the fucking woods, like America woods.
I just don't understand. Like, it's just a kangaroo.
It's a kangaroo.
The phantom part is that it's displaced.
It's well, like I was reading two different like versions of it where it was like, yeah, it's like a ghost or like a
Like a spectral. Like,
paranormal aspect or like time hop or whatever the fuck it is. But then there are people just going like, no, these are considered phantom kangaroos because it's like we're calling these phantom kangaroos because they actually exist and they're real kangaroos that are out there, but like we're just calling them phantom ones because that's the classification for it because it doesn't belong in that area.
You know how a bunch of missing people like occur? Well, I mean, sorry, I was just gonna side tangent because I heard about all
Go ahead.
the 1,000 fucking missing teenagers from Cleveland this year.
What?
Oh my god.
You guys didn't know about that?
No.
A check, just make sure we're getting this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, 1,000 teenagers, like in Cleveland, Ohio, went
Just
missing this year, just gone,
Oh my fucking god.
and they don't know what happened.
Ooh. Oogity
I
boogity.
I mean, human trafficking, probably.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
I hear Ohio's really bad for that.
Yeah, it's one of the hot spots, dude.
It's so bad, from what I
And-
understand.
Why do you think I carry a taser in my purse when I leave work?
Why do you think I learned nunchucks?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm who they want, dude. Me? For sex trafficking? I'm like the Marilyn Monroe.
The only thing saving me right now is a hand tattoo and red hair.
Yeah.
um,
Definable characteristics.
but since I know it's probably human trafficking, it made me feel bad that I was like, well, what if it is paranormal?
Yeah.
I thought of the story that I could write.
Paranormal, how fucking freaky
1,000
human
kids
traffickers
vanish.
are.
Where do they go? No one knows. But someone has a clue.
That's someone
And they're coming for you.
Scooby Doo. That's the new Scooby Doo movie.
I completely lost my train of thought about what I was talking about disappearing.
1,000 kids disappearing
But before that, I
in
was...
Cleveland.
Before that, we were talking about something I cannot remember. Ruse. I don't know. This is unfortunate.
Damn it.
Run it back.
Yeah, rewind the footage.
Phantom Ruse, I guess.
Oh, okay. So as I was researching Phantom Kangaroos, I ended up going down a rabbit hole that I didn't think I was going to go down because I was like, I never thought me wanting to find a bear spirit would lead me here.
Yeah.
But turns out that as soon as I click over to page 2 of Google, which to some is a Library of Alexandria all to its own.
Yeah, that's basically...
You're running deep, dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's uncharted territory. I learned that the first thing that comes up is an anthology series
About the Phantom Kangaroo?
titled Phantom Kangaroo. Phantom Kangaroo is an anthology series of poems that gets released every 3 years. It contains poems about the paranormal, the occult, the mystical, and everything shrouded in mystery.
You gotta read one of these out.
I'm reading their description for how they're selling their book.
That's awesome.
This is how they're selling it.
What if I get it for you for Christmas?
Oh my god. I was like, am I going to buy this? Like, as I was researching it, because I was like, this is right up my alley.
Yeah.
Like, this type of shit. But I was like, I just got done with Christmas shopping, so I was like, nah, I know, I can't spend anymore.
I understand.
So, I was immediately interested in this, and I kept going through page 2 of Google, and was like, it was all Phantom Kangaroo shit of the anthology series, and it was explaining how, like, through those 3 years, there's like 30 editions to this. And I think one of them is like a big anthology of like 200 poems that they have accumulated over the years. 13 of those poems get added to like each edition, I'm pretty sure. And anybody can submit a poem, I'm pretty sure. As long as they just surround like something paranormal. And
I will make it into
Followers,
right?
followers, start writing, damn it.
And I was just like,
Only if you're good though. Don't write like trash poems and
We want good fan fiction.
that's what this podcast is,
good fan fiction.
basically.
I can call myself good fan fiction. This is
I don't
wonderful
know.
news.
I
Good
don't know
fiction
yet.
of the fan.
Do you think it's good? It's the true burden of the artist, honestly, is that you never think you're good enough.
No, it's not.
Tell me about it. Doing my mother's tattoo today.
But I was just like, there's either something that's really fucking cool or something that's really pretentious. Because I was just like, well, if you can do anything, we're gonna get a lot of like possible pretentious fucks who are coming in here and being like, water, what does it mean? And I'm just like, okay, this is not what I wanted. But I think a person who wrote a poem, I think this is an excerpt from one of the poems that was in a
collection.
Yeah, that came out in 2010. And it reads like this. This is word for word. Phantom Kangaroo was born in 2010. I had read about strange occurrences of kangaroos appearing in areas where they should not be. They were described as ghost-like, visible for only seconds before disappearing or hopping through walls. Some speculate they are aliens or spirits hunting us from another dimension. Someone suggested animal teleportation. Maybe they bounce in and out of existence. Whatever they are, these phantom kangaroos are an omen, a cryptic warning that you will soon be falling into the unknown. They seem to say, I am real, and I am a hoax. And so are you. Sometimes poems seems to say the same thing. Phantom Kangaroo is a space of these poems. The otherworldly, mystical, bizarre.
Wait, so what was that?
It's either a poem that was written in this, or like
their description for that collection?
for what this is.
Okay.
I think it's that.
That makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah, I think it's them being like, this is what this is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they mean by... I mean, I assume they mean that Phantom Kangaroo was started in 2010. Because he found Phantom Kangaroos, and he was just like... I'm just... Like, he got so inspired by the idea of, like, a kangaroo bouncing around Wisconsin, so he had to make, like, a poem anthology series.
I mean, that's beautiful.
I mean, it really is, when you think about it.
Pure
like that.
dedication.
I honestly feel like kangaroo should be a symbol in our cult. Because when I put it like that, it really is something beautiful. And that you can just see, like, a kangaroo sign in America and be like, it jumps through existence.
Yeah, we have to find our kangaroo.
You're right. You're right. But I think I'm done.
Alrighty.
Little break.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, we sure hope you enjoyed that break. Boy, what's our advertiser again?
Us. Go watch more of Us anywhere.
I really like them.
We're starting a band soon.
Go listen to our music.
If it's out. And if it's not out, wait.
It's called
Good things are worth waiting for, baby.
Creep by Radiohead.
Got really bright.
It sure did.
You said creep and the light intensified like on me for some reason, Gavin. I don't know what you're trying to
You got
say.
smiled like Snake. Like,
Don't die.
Oh no, I would never.
but
I mean, I would. Then I'd be able to explore the universe with my soulmate.
But now is time for the Spectruminal viewing. Now, what is the Spectruminal viewing, you might ask? Well, Haley, would you like to explain a little bit?
Our lovely friend over here explores the universe and views through other people.
You have to talk into the mic.
It's fine.
Yes, he gets a glimpse from the cosmos and recites the tale of a soul out there in the universe going through their life or possible afterlife. What has he seen today? Let's find out.
I'm receiving an aura. The color of this aura, it's a cooler color. It's not a primary. It's like a green. I'm seeing a green.
Green aura.
Huh.
Oh my god. None of that come from the cosmos?
Yeah.
It shows up. It like teleports into your shirt.
It's like thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a owl mail or something from Harry Potter. It just appears.
Is that how it works?
Not at all.
Okay.
But like the letters from Harry Potter, they kind of just appear. But they also have owls, so that doesn't make sense to me.
So they're sent by owl.
Well, no, because like, because I've been playing a lot of Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
So
What do you think of it?
there's so many.
It's okay to
thoughts.
get into this. Again.
He's got a little bit of a heart on.
I want to hear about it.
Okay, so I love it and I hate it.
Why is that?
Okay, so there's a lot about the game that I adore, and that's just the fact that you're a little wizarding student in this cool magic world, and you get to explore these like different places and areas and see just like this little world, and I love it. It's fun.
And I kind of want to establish with the viewer that like you're not a Harry Potter fan.
Not really, no. I was like a Harry Potter adjacent. Like I know a lot about it in some senses, but I'm not like a fan.
I feel you.
Like I'm not like I didn't know what the different classes what are they factions houses. See, I
can't believe I know that.
Yeah,
I'm in the most dark here.
But I don't even I don't know what they stand. I do now because we talked about it and identified which friend group members which.
Guess who's who?
Out of us?
Oh, we know who we are. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I would actually love to see that.
Fucking nerds. Yeah, I'd love to see that too.
I know, right?
No,
We're
them, yeah. Because we're nerds, so like saying, I hope you guys are nerds too. Because if you're not, well, then
why the hell are you watching us?
Yeah, what the hell?
How did you end up here?
Really?
I mean, I guess we find you, but like, why are we calling
watched
to
our
you?
show where we talked about movies. Like,
oh shit.
Yeah.
I mean, we might have like a spillover or two from way we're recording.
I think we will.
I mean, Ollie's probably gonna watch.
That's true.
Shout out.
My mom wants to watch. I'm like, no.
Oh, that's adorable.
Everyone probably will.
Yeah.
And my parents are probably gonna watch it too.
So that we got at least 5 viewers. You know, we made it.
Our family
Oh,
are
and
watching
Renee.
our show. We made the big
you,
bucks. Sorry, Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, but okay, so I don't even know where to begin. I guess with like the story. Okay. So you gotta progress through the story to unlock more spells. And that's cool. That's fun. But there's also a lot that you can do without progressing through the story. Mm-hmm. And exploration is not really limited in this game. Like it's just like here's the set world you have. You can go as far north or south because that's essentially what the map is Hogwarts is in the middle. You can go north or south.
Gotcha.
You can go as far as like where our map is outlined, and just kind of like experience this world where all these NPCs are and all this magic lives. It's fascinating to me. But
so far, I just want to say all of this is like my type of game design shit.
Yeah,
I love it when they just drop you in the open.
I just like the fact you can create your own little character.
And I wish it was a little like a lot of people gave it like praise. Not a lot of people, but some people did because it had a lot of more inclusive like hairstyles than other games with character creation and other things like that, right?
Okay.
But I still felt like limited, and maybe it's because like at around the same time I was playing other games where the character creation was a little more in depth.
Examples.
Even like Dark Souls, like you can adjust the planes of the people's
Dude.
faces.
Playing Code Vein, they gave me so much shit to change on that character.
But like,
I could choose the voice.
You can do that in a lot of games.
I know, but like it freaked me out.
but I didn't feel like necessarily limited by it. I just didn't think it was like in depth as what would have been really cool. You know?
Type.
Yeah. Like I'm just coming off a few other games where.
And you've played the first one only, right?
Yeah. Another one that comes to mind is Cyberpunk, which is. Mm-hmm. I say that's a fair comparison because obviously, like Hogwarts Legacy came out after, so it's.
It is a fair comparison.
Yeah.
I think they're both the type of same game.
So I don't know. It wasn't. It wasn't limiting, but it wasn't as expressive as I've seen in other games that I've played.
Honestly, that criticism right there is my criticism for Cyberpunk a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I still really like what I'm playing. Just, that's what I want. I wanted more.
And then, like, the way the story is structured is, like, it's like, hey, here is our main quest. Off of that, we are going to give you, like, smaller main quests, I guess. They almost feel like side quests, and some of them are, like, kind of labeled as such. Mm-hmm. So you have to do those before you can progress even further, which those unlock spells. But when you're going through... like, and trying to just explore, you are very limited, and I guess it forces you to play the story.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know. I don't know. It gets boring, though, just to, like, grind out the story just to, like, explore this world.
You're not engaged by the story. Because honestly,
Not in the
what
way
you're
you
saying
wish to
me
be.
is kind of like, it's kind of what a game should kind of strive for, at least a little bit. Because I like the idea of. It's kind of why I love the idea of dropping you in a world and allowing you to go explore whatever. A prime example to me is Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like you can go anywhere and you probably will get your ass kicked if you go somewhere, but it forces you to then go, well, I can't just brute force my way through this. Or you could, and you could accept that challenge. Or you could go, well, if I go this way, I might find something that helps me.
Yeah.
And I just love that feeling.
And it would have been cooler to, like, discover spells, like, just, like, kind of, like, learn, you know, how to do them, maybe just, like, placed in the world. That'd be more interesting. Or, I mean...
You're saying the way of, like, the main story, like,
Wouldn't-
gameplay-wise.
Is that the
and
only way you can get
structure-wise, you
spells?
just don't like it.
The only way you can get spells is through, like, story quests.
And are those fun, do you think? Like, what do they consist of?
Some of them are. Some of them are definitely fun. Like, one of them is... So some of them are just, like, the classes. So you'll take, like, a potions class. You'll learn how to brew potions in the game.
I would
which
fuck up potions
you can-
class.
Which you can, like, you know, some of them give you different buffs. I never use them because, to me, the combat isn't that difficult. I'm only
Did you
playing...
turn the difficulty?
I didn't.
Okay.
So maybe that's why. But... I don't know. I mean, I'm not
You
going...
would like to be challenged more.
I guess. But also, like, I don't think the combat is in-depth enough. Not that it's simple.
Honestly, I watched you play it, and it seemed kind of to me like free play Final Fantasy-esque.
I don't know enough about Final Fantasy to understand that.
Do you mean free to play or like the combat system?
No, like the combat system.
Okay.
Instead of taking turns, you know, it's like you're
Mashing
fighting
buttons.
as yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, there's, like, a dodge mechanic and a counter mechanic. And those, like, feel good to, like, hit, I guess. And some of them... And, like, there's, like, uncounterable attacks where you have to dodge out of the way and, like, stuff like that. But...
Sorry, go on. I'll say it later. I'm really intrigued in what you're saying, but go on.
But it's just, like... I don't know. The way it's set up is it's very combo heavy. And if you could just get a combo on somebody and you have, like... You don't even have to have the right upgrades. I was doing it before I had upgrades that, like, reduced the cooldown times on these different abilities.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you can just combo somebody forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, it's this attack to put him in the air, 1, 2, 3, another attack to put him in the air, 1, 2, do a big fire attack.
Yeah.
You know, that stuff.
And do you think that's rewarding? Because honestly, I love that stuff, and it reminds me of like Spider-Man, because that is a
I like Spider-Man. I've been playing a little more Spider-Man.
Yeah?
I like their combat much more.
and
But
I'm wondering what
it's
the
much more
difference is.
expressive.
Yes, it very much is.
It's so much more expressive.
I can't speak from what I know about Hogwarts because I don't know anything.
Well, there's 3 striking animations.
Okay.
So there's, like, the spell animations you use to typically grab someone and bring them to you or push someone away.
Okay.
And then there's like a 1, 2, and then like a behind the back or just like a strong forward. There's just 3 strikes
Got
for
it.
your basic, and it's referred to as a basic like attack, like it's your basic strike for your wand. So I understand that it's not gonna be like complex, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because like I haven't gotten
Far enough.
I don't even know if I should
'cause
say that though.
Well, because if you keep acquiring moves as you play through the story, do you think the game is trying to like ease you into the combat and then it's gonna get progressively
What
more and more
difficulty are you on?
complex?
I'm just on normal. Maybe because there's definitely some cool combos you can hit, and one of the quests even is there's a little club you're invited to. I hate to spoil the game, but there's a little club you're invited to.
I'm not paying for it.
Where you can fight like different students to gain renown in this little like just like dueling club.
Okay.
And it's bullshit because it's like you can have one partner, but you can go up against 6 guys.
Okay.
But that's not important.
Yeah, you're thinking like logistics.
Yeah, like if you're thinking about it logistically, yeah, it's fine. Like you win. It's not too difficult to do. But it's like one of the main quests. So it's like it's like do that and also learn about the combos from the same. Ooh, I wasn't facing my mic. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
From the same guy who is like running this club, and I guess like it might be easing you in to more like combos and stuff.
How far do you think you're in with it? Like, do you think the amount of progression you've made should like respect that progress that would be like saying like a Spider-Man? Because it's something that I really like about Spider-Man 2 is the fact that like they keep introducing a lot of stuff to you, like boom, boom, boom. Here's a new mechanic. Here's a new mechanic. Here's a new mechanic in combat, and so you always have like something new to play around with.
Mm.
Do you think the rate at which you're getting those is just a bit too slow for how far you think you've made into the story, or do you think you aren't far enough in the story yet?
I think it's as far as my understanding of the combat has been capped by what they're introducing, by the pace they're introducing it. So I feel like I'm very adequate with their combat system.
Uh-huh.
And that...
So you're bored.
So yeah, so combats are easier. And even like when I'm like attacking an enemy whose health bar is just massive, because that's like the quick fix. It's like just make it take more hits, right?
Yeah.
Like in just games in general, like not just Hogwarts Legacy. I'm not calling them out.
Yeah.
But in a lot of games, it is just you're gonna have to hit this one more. It's not quite a boss, but you gotta hit this one more to kill it. And
like the are we talking about like the Mario 3 rule? Of like hit him 3 times, he goes out.
No, I'm saying like it's just the way they seemingly make their enemies more difficult is just by giving them more health.
I see what you mean.
It's not like it's a power imbalance. It's not necessarily
just
they're
stats.
doing more damage. It's just it's. I mean, maybe it is just like heightened damage and
raise the
such a
health
little
bar.
bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's more just like they. That's what's hard about them is they.
They take more time.
Yeah, and that gives them more opportunity to actually hit you with these strikes that most people just know in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, my brain's rotted and all I know is Bayonetta.
Now you're comparing like, we're talking about combat in games. I mean, you're comparing something that I don't know, no to the quality to like peak quality.
I love Bayonetta so much.
I will admit though, like there are a lot of things I do like about this game.
What are those?
I got a broom recently. I very much enjoy flying around on the broom.
Dude, I loved flying the broom in Lego Harry
It
Potter.
is-
I just want to say, like, if we have a listener who's played this game, if Kyan's saying, like, I want to know what your reaction is to Kyan saying, I just got the broom. When you heard that
too early?
Yeah,
I
when you
didn't
heard
just
that,
get the
were you-
broom, but even so.
were you like, he only got the broom?
Well, and that's fascinating to think about because like I do know people who played this game, and one of them was my coworker, and she was telling me like, yeah, just once you get to this specific character's story, you're just gonna be hooked. Like it's gonna just encapsulate.
Have you gotten to it yet?
Technically yes.
Okay.
I just started it. I can't remember the character's name. I think he's a Slytherin though.
Okay.
He takes you to this like old keep thing. I mean, if you know the game, you know what I'm talking about. He has a sister who got kicked out. Like again, if you're here, you're here now. That's for sure. And I just did that quest, but like the broom, fast travel's a big thing in this game.
Really?
Massive. Like it's a whole like you can find a bunch of fast travel points, and that's especially at the beginning of the game, the easiest way to get between like
Places.
Hogsmeade and Hogwarts and like the outer I can't
This is
remember
reminding me of Genshin.
like the outer villages and shit like that.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me. But like flying the broom's so much cooler. And you can go really fast on the broom and it feels really good. And you get broom upgrades and shit.
Okay.
Like and that's the thing I do.
Is the
Like,
progression good?
I don't know enough yet.
Okay.
I just got the first quest, and then it's time between quests. I don't know how that's actually decided in game.
Okay.
If there's milestones, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think another part of the game that I do really like, but also kind of causes an imbalance in progression, is you can do these puzzles.
Okay.
And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of different puzzles in the game. There are at least 4 types, I think, maybe 5, just in Hogwarts. Like that's all there are in Hogwarts. Is there's 5 puzzles. You see them while you're just exploring the grounds because you have to. Like you just pass by these things.
Okay.
And you think, I wonder how you do that. And then you find something that teaches you how to do that, whether it's a side quest or if it's a piece of paper for one of the puzzles.
Like Megalovania style. Like you're exploring this big old world and you'll find like the keys to some shit that you saw earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
And then like when you do these puzzles though, you get XP for those. So you level up. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm level like 23 or something. And the level requirements for the quests I'm doing are extremely low. And I get their set low so you can like progress at your own pace anyway. Mm-hmm. But I'm just like, that's interesting. Because at least in a game like this, to me it's meant for exploration and finding these things and figuring out how to do all of these puzzles. Mm-hmm. And then like the quests don't seem to line up with that.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just, like, the way I interpret the game. Like, it should have been designed in a certain way to accommodate the idea of exploration into the playthrough.
Yeah.
But, like...
I was literally talking about this with Braden today.
Yeah.
We were talking about video games and how we wish they... We were talking about how there's such a divide with, like, story and, like, gameplay. Like, the type of gameplay that a type of game is striving to have. Most notably, we talked about... like Nakey Jakey's video on Red Dead 2 and how his complaint was like the story and like what you do in the story are completely separated from gameplay, because in the story you're a ragtag group of cowboys who are scraping up together, and a big aspect of that is providing for the camp. Mm-hmm. But you can play throughout the entire story without doing anything for the camp. And he said it would have been great if to continue the story, you were incentivized to go out and get more money for the camp. Like, you have to raise $500 to do a story mission, which incentivizes you to either, since there's an honor system in the game, be a good guy or a bad guy, you could do good things, but probably earn money slower, or do bad things that will earn you money faster so you can continue the story.
And that would have been really fascinating.
Yeah, right?
But I don't know.
And what is that for Hogwarts Legacy? I don't know. But that type of game design is, I think, what should be pushed.
Yeah, something that accounts for and promotes exploration.
Both aspects.
Yeah.
They're not divided.
Yeah. Man. Have any other thoughts on Hogwarts Legacy?
I don't know, but you're making me want to play video games when I go home and I gotta finish crocheting.
It's like I said, I like the game. Like overall.
You're having a good time.
Yeah, it's fun wizard game.
Yeah.
You know, there's...
What was that other wizard game you played with Tristan?
Wizard Legends. It is like a roguelike. I love it. I absolutely adore that game. It's just something about it I love. I don't know. I've always been like into magic for some reason. Just something like I gravitated towards when I was like a wee lad.
This fascinates me.
Yeah?
I want to find out why you gravitate towards magic.
I don't know.
Like, I remember when you, like... Jesus Christ. Okay.
Like the crab, Gavin. Like the crab.
Yeah, damn it. You're surrounded by crabs.
I need to change the battery for the camera. So, Harry Potter. I remember when this, like, fascination of yours with, like, magic came to me is when we went to go see a movie. I forget what it was, but, like, the last Fantastic Beast movie was being promoted.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you were like, look at that shit. And I was like... Whoa.
Yeah, dude, it was a good fucking trailer to me. Because it was the combat. It was the combat that got me in that movie.
You emphasized the combat.
Because it's so fascinating how you can fight with magic, especially with the rule system that they have, dude. You don't have to use a wand to cast magic.
What do you mean?
It's talked about in the game, and it's definitely, it's called Wagadu. It's a different city. And it's in, like, Africa or something. And
this is so cool.
You're gonna make me start tizzling me out.
They don't use wands. At all.
It's like the episode of Wizards of Waverly Place.
And
breaking the rules and doing that.
No, they're just like, but like the character who comes from there is talking about it, and she goes, yeah, but you know, I do like the wand. It makes me feel dramatic, and she like fucking waves her wand and shit. That's not how she sounds.
That's such a D&D character.
but I'm just like, that's awesome, dude. Like the idea that you're not even using a wand to like cast these spells. They say it like can help you
It's a diversion.
Oh, the wand is just this rudimentary thing that's
just a focus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Although like there is strong wands in Harry Potter, so like I don't know.
That is
like armor.
fascinating. To think of the wand as more so a symbol of like willpower and determination of the
Dude,
user.
what?
That is
Hold
kind of
on.
idea with how they're made and what they're made out of.
Do you think their wands are a symbol of class too? So like the more stronger the wand is, the
for
more
sure.
money it costs, the more like money your family has.
I don't know if it's like a thing. I think that'd be interesting for a story, but I don't think that's how it is in Harry Potter.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not
I
sure.
think it would be cooler if it was like that.
Oh yeah, if they were like, well, this one.
Like, that's why-
killed Baltimore.
That's why little Malfoy was swinging the shit around.
But the entire point of those characters who can not use those, like, it like negates that idea.
Or
Because those are people who have ascended and realized
it causes
that, like,
the conflict.
But it's like they understand that it's like, no, we don't need the wand. We can let go of this and we can
It's
just
also
embrace.
like fascinating to me that they don't.
They're
need
like
to
the
speak,
airbenders.
like the spell names to
It's
cast
like-
the spells.
Dude, it's like
That-
Wizards of
that's like the
Waverly
next
Place.
evolution.
Although I think that's more of like a higher level wizard thing.
It's like Wizards of Waverly Place.
I watched a lot of that show.
I did not.
I did too.
It gets really good like midway through. I think it's like episode 8 season 2 is when like the first like good episode in my opinion happens.
It's like after like
then
the
it's just,
second
like-
breakup with Mason.
it just rocks.
Jeez.
Like they have like decent like themes and morals in these, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
some children's cartoons actually did have those things.
Do we have anything else to say before we get into the story? Because I do. I just don't want to like cut off our talking point.
I don't know. Magic's just fascinating to me. Like it really is. It always has been. The combat in that fucking trailer, dude, where the dude like zips and fucking holds his wand up to his neck.
Well, we also just have an eye for choreography.
I've
maybe.
never grown out of my making potions phase.
That's true.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I was about to say I make fucking tea.
But like we appreciate like we
Love
can
the
look at
Eminem song.
choreography and go like, oh fuck, that's cool.
There's just. Oh, and the one guy just fucking like zips out of the wand. I fucking love.
And you were like making good points. You were like, oh yeah, that is like a good way to shoot an action scene, to not just make it two motherfuckers standing there and just
Yeah,
casting
just like
wands at each other.
because the fucking choreography in Harry Potter's lame as shit.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like the last battle or whatever,
And they're just
where
standing
Neville's
there.
stabbing the fucking snake or whatever he does.
What the hell is her name? Like Nigiri or something like that?
I don't know.
It's the same way I think about with like John Wick. Think of the wands as guns, and then like, because that's what they are. They shoot projectiles. at
Yeah,
each
no,
other.
I mean
So you do the same shit. You like spin around.
Accio.
And, like,
that shit's scary. Imagine being Accio'd. You know what that means?
No,
Somebody just
no.
fucking points their Accio and you fly up in the air towards them.
is that in the game?
Yeah, it's Accio and Cindio and then ba 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 Leviosa.
Like this sounds really fucking cool.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy comboing the shit out of somebody sometimes. Because it does make you feel like I have a good grasp on this.
I remember there was a little app on your phone where if you went Lumos, the flashlight on your phone would turn on.
Oh, yeah. I think you can still, like, tell Siri that or some shit.
I can test it out.
But the final point I want to make before we move on to our story, which was
Oh, yeah.
briefly,
I completely forgot about
abruptly
this.
cut off. As we were talking about like game design or whatever, like you talked about the fact that there's like in Hogwarts Legacy there's a parry mechanic and a dodge mechanic, and then there are like attacks that you can't parry, so you have to dodge them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, yeah, this is in like so many games now. It's like
Yeah.
speaking for example, Spider-Man 2, it has this, but it's also just a staple in a lot
It's
of
like the same
modern
buttons.
games. Yeah. And
It's like WoWs.
I was just kind of realizing it's like, well, the big reason that this is a staple is because Sekiro like came out and was fucking incredible and won Game of the Year, and everyone was just kind of like, yeah, we like this shit because in Sekiro it's parry focused, but there are also moves that you just can't parry, so you have to change up your fucking style when you play. It keeps you on your toes, and I just kind of realized that like. FromSoft did that twice. They impacted the gaming culture twice by doing that shit, because Dark Souls came out and everyone was like, let's just do Dark Souls. And now Sekiro came out and they were like, yeah, let's just do what Sekiro's doing. That's like crazy shit.
You know, I guess like another way Hogwarts Legacy's combat tries to stay like fresh is when you are dealing with a large group of enemies, like such as like there's poacher camps is what they are.
Okay.
And in these poacher camps, there's like 6 guys or something. But something you have to do to break people's shields, something you have to do to break people's shields is hit them with a spell that correlates to like their color, because all the spells are color coordinated.
Gotcha.
And that's interesting. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, that's fascinating. I just remembered I don't know how to lock on in that game.
Really?
I don't lock on in games ever. I'm so bad at it.
This is fucking fascinating.
Dude, I'm so bad at it. You've seen me play Dark Souls.
I haven't
no,
in
you
such
haven't.
a long time.
No,
thought you haven't
everybody
been
else
locking
have.
on?
No.
This is fascinating. This is like when you don't block in fighting games. I'm like, how do you do it?
I just dodge, Gavin. I just simply don't get hit.
I say I don't block either. That shit gets in my way.
I've started blocking
Gets
Soul
in your
Calibur
way.
because it's very annoying to play against Tristan.
Well, it's a fundamental. It's like a fundamental in like every fighting
Fuck
game.
the fundamentals. I play fun.
That's why I think that's why I gravitated towards For Honor so much, because I never had to block. I could just dodge.
Blocking is very important in that game also.
Nah, it's not. It really at all. You can fully get by dodging everybody's attacks, so far to the point where if you start dodging them at the right time, you just deflect. You don't have to block at any point in that game, and you could still be a fucking monster.
I say I never block in Bayonetta.
Man, you should play Bloodborne.
And I was a fucking monster at one point. I miss those days of that game.
I activate that witch time so goddamn fast.
Alright, should we get into the viewing? Finally. Everyone had their popcorn ready for the viewing, and then
And then we went on a tangent
for
about
40 minutes, and then they were like, "Get to the fucking viewing!"
40 minutes?
Somewhere probably around there.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not.
I'm not. That was
liked
fun.
it. Yeah.
Well, for those people who are really hoping for just the story.
Come on now.
No, I'll be
The
accommodating.
journey is the important part.
Yeah.
You're like us, not our morals.
Alright. Let us begin. When I was a wee lad, my grandfather sat me down, told me a story that I'd never forget. Now, typically, when my grandfather would sit me down and tell stories, we'd sit on the front porch and he'd get in his old little rocking chair and rock back and forth and regale me with tales from the war or his crazy teenage years when he was drag racing. This time was different. You know, this time, it started with a gift. He came to me and he says, I have something for you. I thought, all right. I wonder what it could be. And when he showed me that rocking chair, almost identical to his, I was the happiest I ever thought I could be. Something that we shared and enjoyed together. It was awesome. But after he gave me this gift, he looked troubled. Now I found this odd. My grandpa's a strong man indeed. He didn't really show any emotion. The most you'd get out of him was a comment under his breath, maybe. But this was different. There was like a stress to him, something I've never seen from him before. It was odd. And he sat me down. He said, in almost a nervous manner, something again I'm not used to at all from this figure in my life. He said, I don't know where to start. And this struck me as odd. Don't know where to start. He always told his stories in a very laid out, methodical manner. To not know where to start, I didn't know how to feel. He began. It was a long time ago. I never thought I'd be telling this story. But here we go. It was a long time ago. I had just turned 20. So about your age. And I decided to go camping with a buddy of mine. His name was Jim. Now, my grandpa's told me a lot of stories. But never one with anybody named Jim. Alright. You see, Jimmy and I were best friends in high school. We did just about everything together. He's even the one who got me my first job. We practically owned the ice cream shop we worked at back then. He was like a brother to me. We were planning a trip for about 2 months. I had to buy a new tent because he fell on the old one the year prior. Bastard was drunker than hell. He laughed at that, thinking about that memory, I'm sure. I'm sure it gave him something, but who was Jim? He said he seems like they were such good friends, but I don't recall any of his stories ever mentioning him. The look he gave too, it's like all that momentary stress melted away. He was just happy. That memory, it must have jogged something. More emotion than I've seen from him ever. He continued. Jim told me about this spot we were going to was off. Apparently, people said for years that it was a hub for the supernatural. I never really got into that, but he loved that stuff. Trying to find some greater meaning to the world or something like that. I never got it. I never really understood why he needed more or what he was looking for. He pauses for a second. Seemed like an eternity. I couldn't tell if he was lost in thought or if he was just trying to find what Jim was looking for. I've never seen him act like this before. This spring to his voice, this excitement he has, talking about this long lost friend I'd never seen or heard of. That day we left for our trip, it was just a normal day. I mean, I had everything packed the night before, so I could just get up bright and early and go to gym. I woke up that morning, I ate a small breakfast, left to go pick him up. I got to his house, waited for about 20 minutes. After beeping a few times, I decided to walk up to his house. Of course, as I approached the door, there he was. He let out a brief smile. He was panting, just completely out of breath. I'm so sorry. My alarm went off at 7 p.m., not a.m. They had to run around and pack everything that I needed, and before I knew it, it was now. Anyway, I'm ready to go. If I'm being honest, I wasn't surprised by this. Jimmy, he wasn't the type to be prepared, per se. He was always so far into his head he couldn't see out of it sometimes. About 7:30, we finally headed off. The spot we were going to was about an hour and a half drive from Jimmy's house. And I felt like it was in the middle of nowhere. Once we got out there, we set up our tents and unpacked most of our stuff. My tent was quite sizable, it could fit the both of us easily. Took us half an hour to set up that damn thing. My first tent to have a dedicated spot for a lantern. I mean, it does not seem like a big deal, but they didn't make them like that back then. This reminded me of my first tent my grandpa got me. Small one-person tent with a little hook on the keychain lighter. Something of those sorts. I did as long as I could. Unfortunately, a windstorm knocked it. A windstorm one night when my friends and I were camping. Oh, it ruined by a windstorm. I remember waking up that morning so confused. It was about 11 a.m. at this point, and Jimmy and I were getting hungry. We figured we better head out in case we couldn't find somewhere closer to lunch. We drove about 20 minutes before spotting a sign. Westbrook Diner, 4 miles. The vision's getting hazy. Unfortunately, that is all I have for you guys today.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a story.
Okay.
This was an interesting vision to get for sure. Much different than the last one I got. I mean, the aura of green, that was definitely interesting. And then it just seems like a a normal story. I don't know, normal guy. His grandpa. I don't know. It's definitely just something I'm think about here. A little on the ordinary side this time.
Maybe just reliving a memory.
But yeah, the story was interesting to write for me.
And
Very
why?
interesting.
And why?
Well, because I was trying. I remember trying really hard to establish how these characters talked, and I did essentially an abridged version here.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I was trying to like really set how like, because when you have multiple characters in a story, it's very important for all of them to sound like different or have a different
Distinct.
energy to them.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It's when you use those adjectives.
Yeah. There's like a lot in word choice. Like I remember like rewriting a few things a different time, like different things a few times, because like it just didn't feel like the same character was talking. And I was trying to like encapsulate like the old man in some fashion. And then I didn't really do much of that, because what I decided to focus on seemingly in this piece here, in this vision that I got, it was like, I don't know, the focus is more setting things up.
For what?
For what? Well, I didn't know.
Because not a lot happened.
No. This is all just like, hey, like this is weird that
The
this
chair, the tent.
that this you know like this guy that I know is bringing up this weird experience that he had with a friend I've never heard of. Like that's an intriguing like base idea. I was trying to set things up with. I don't even know, dude. I know. I'm trying to like really pinpoint, because I didn't know if I wanted to like have like an alien story here, because presumably this Jim character was never seen again.
Presumably.
Yeah, like there something happened. Like he's never been brought up. Like it's weird that like this is the one time this main character is seeing emotion from their grandfather, who's more of the main character than they are. They're just kind of like the means by which I tell the story.
Why is he telling the story now of all times?
Well, I
is he
assume this is
dying?
part one.
Oh yeah, most certainly. Yeah. No, this is more of an establishing scene.
Yeah. Can I talk about it?
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Like,
Because again, this is the thing is like I want to talk about it, but I don't want to come off mean because I want you to get it better as a writer. So,
Yeah.
And I understand like you're telling your story you've written to like a bunch of people, and that takes a lot of fucking bravery, and you're bearing your heart to us.
and I'm very obviously not great at writing.
But this is the point of this.
Yeah, this is
to get
the whole
better.
intent. Yeah.
One of the biggest things I can say is that I think you should focus on economy of like words.
Okay.
Because a lot of you even talked about before we filmed this how this was a pretty long one.
Yeah.
And the thing is, not a lot happens in it, and that's not bad. It's just the fact that a lot of what was being said was how the characters felt. Like it was like the grandson like describing how his grandfather felt. And there are ways to go about that, of like going like, well, instead of saying like this is how the character feels, how can we like show that? And we like you had like the idea of like you wanted to like present to us that like this Jim character is someone that is not established with
Our main
the
character,
grandson who's being told to that, and a way you could have gotten around with that instead of just like kind of like saying it would have been to like because presumably this is ordinary up until Jim is mentioned. Stories are always being told, so you show them in their regular state. You show them that this is kind of like a thing they do, a bonding experience they have. He sits in his chair, he does all this type of thing. It's kind of like
A routine.
Princess Bride shit with like the grandfather and his son. And then as like, or maybe the grandson could go like, oh, is this like a story about blah or blah or blah, like the names he's heard of like the friends he knows he has, and then like there's also like with the way you describe emotion, you just have to find those like ways of saying it that aren't so blatant to the point where it's like he was off or whatever, like it just like with, and like honestly the way I'm thinking about this is because I did play Alan Wake, and I talked about it with you how it opened my mind up to how someone can
Nice
use
little cookie
words to
over
paint
there.
an image so clearly.
Yeah.
And it does, I think, like when you're writing stuff like that, and I want to do it too when I'm writing, like the first thing you're probably gonna do is write down how the character feels. This person feels like this, but then like I think the best thing to do is look at that and go, how can I make that better?
Okay.
Like what's the way we can show this without blatantly saying like they're offset? And the way you could do that is just like the grandpa, and I think it is like fine to say for the grandson to be like, something was different about this day though, because based on just like how he's like telling the story, like the grandpa's mannerisms, and even in points in like reciting the story, like it doesn't have to just be like you saying like and like I could tell like he was like looking back on fondness with this, like you can, and part of that is also like just have to come down to delivery.
Yeah, especially because like, well, and that's why when I was like rereading this, I was like, I don't like this first paragraph because it's even worse.
Yeah.
It's very much just like, it's rudimentary in the way it's trying to establish things, which is why I'd rather abridge it in this like telling.
And this makes sense also because like this is basically a first act, and you were just like you didn't have time to write a story, and that's fine. But like I guess from now on, maybe you just kind of like try and find those moments where you could write more in your day to day, so you have more time to prepare and look back at your work and go, how can I make this better? Because I think that's what every writer does, at least every good writer.
Want to read the dictionary?
No.
It does help.
I know.
A thesaurus is a nice
I
tool.
love the thesaurus.
I definitely use those sometimes.
It's important because
I think so as well.
you don't want to sound samey.
Like in my first story there, vision that I got, I definitely used the thesaurus a few times there, because I know I wanted to speak very particularly,
Yeah.
and
I got a little Rolodex up here that flips words through it.
and it was very like I didn't like the feeling of some words in the story I'm trying to tell, like the known
Some
connotation.
words just have a different tone to them in general.
Yeah, it's just like that idea that like, oh yeah, what we associate with this word typically, or the way it's said, even sometimes like the way it sounds, like it's weird how like to describe it that way, but like it just doesn't fit.
Isn't that just called phonetics?
Like the tone of what I'm trying to convey.
Yeah.
So I can't use that word, or I've used this word too many times. And I can't
Something
keep
else.
saying it. I can't. It's
Exactly,
terrible.
yeah.
I hate it.
And that's when it comes in handy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think where the skill comes in is learning where to balance that. Because there are some stories that you can tell they had it right next to them and they were just picking
Yep, there's
words
like...
out. That makes it sound fancier. It's like, no, you have to tell a story that
You gotta weave it
flows.
in there.
I don't know what I'm gonna write about yet for next week.
I'm excited.
I gotta
I'm
think
also
about what
excited.
tea I want.
And I have to find my fucking paranormal super fucking kangaroo freak.
Well, I'm
Kangaroo.
going down the
Weird
line of
superhero name.
bases.
You're going down the bases.
I like that. That's really good.
I might talk about something that I'm really like. It's a fan favorite of mine or something.
Yeah.
Because I went like, I want to find something new I have never fucking heard about this time.
I still don't know what I'm gonna write about. I wonder if it'll come to me.
I mean, there's so many possibilities.
There's so
I
many.
would say I'd
possibilities.
help peer review, but that ruins the surprise.
Exactly, right?
100%. I think I'll find something.
Aren't you excited to like look back on these episodes and see your progress?
not just my progress, but the compendium that I've built of just like
Right?
everything.
I'm just excited to see towards the end where I know I just don't need my notes anymore.
Right? Like, we just get accustomed to it. We get in the flow. We're gonna have, like, a better set. And we're gonna be like, oh my god, can you believe we sat around that fucking table?
I mean, the set may improve after Christmas anyway.
Is that a hint?
What? I don't even know what the fuck we're talking
Who's to
about.
know? Who's to know?
We're doing that 31st, right?
Yeah, the 31st.
Delightful.
My rope's coming undone.
Oh no. I was just messing. I just kept sticking my fingers.
So
through
did I.
Well,
I kept going like this.
If that doesn't prove we're autistic, I don't know what does.
I have. So my coworker and I were at work, and she's definitely somewhere on the
On the
spectruminal
spectrum.
side.
She'd be great for this podcast then.
And she was like talking about how like like she wants to get tested or like take some like online tests for autism because we always joke like, oh yeah, like you're definitely autistic. We always joke about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then just literally minutes after that, she's looking out into Walmart. And
Through the
she's
window.
Like, she's like, I wonder how many lights long the store is. And I said, honey, you don't need a test.
I wonder how. Can
Many-
you say that again?
Like
How
the
many
lights, how many long?
on the ceiling that the building is.
I think about that too.
And I said, honey, you don't need a test. And now every once in a while she'll come up to me and be like, yeah, so I have a honey, you don't need a test moment. And she'll just say some shit that's just like
Dude,
very stereotypically.
I used to count tiles on the ceiling.
That's what I was gonna say. I do. At school, I would
Dude.
look up.
My aunt has this fucking pattern on her ceiling. It's like swirls, and I'd follow the swirl all the way through until it broke, and then it would do another one, and I'd be like,
I would look up in marketing class because I was so goddamn bored the entire time. And
Dude.
I would look up and then count and be like, how many does it go across all the way? How many? And I just think about that.
I would look at all the outlets, like, on the floor.
Oh my, all the outlets?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
in the
I'd
marketing
fiddle
class,
with that
100%.
fucking thing, flip
Yeah,
it over
just-
and...
I just play solitaire in that class most of the time because I'd get so fat, the work done so fast.
I wouldn't even do my work in the class. I literally knew all of it already, and I'd ace the test every time.
Ugh,
She also loved me.
I know.
Yeah.
She hated that I never did work in class, but she enjoyed my company.
Yeah. No, me and that teacher spent too much time together.
Right? You watched Big like 4 times.
Yeah, but like, yeah.
Me and our
I'm
government
saying
teacher
that's
spent a lot of
I
time
like the
together.
movie Big. I seriously like that
Did I
movie.
tell you about that, Haley? How in that class, my sophomore year, or no, my junior year, it was just seniors, except for like one other person. But we were allowed to leave early if we had it as our last period, and I did not. So I'd have to sit through a class where essentially I just started watching every movie she had and doing a little booklet about it. It artificially increased my grade so high.
Could you imagine if like me or Brayden became a teacher, and then we had that same experience, and then I show them like those fucking movies?
That would be wild.
I would get fired so fast. I would be like, "You made them watch Old Boy? Like, you scarred this child for life."
I spent my lunch periods with my government teacher because my lunch would blend in with my study hall, so I would just stay in there.
Oh, he was cool as hell though.
I sold him pork.
That's so funny. What
Our
a
history
government teacher
teacher?
thing to do.
I should ask him if he needs a re-up. We just butchered all 3 of them.
Yeah, I feel like we can't say his name right now.
No,
I
I
want to
mean-
say it because the way we're recording, because we will just drop it like a fucking. What do you drop? I don't know.
Like
A ball?
A weight on your foot or something. But yeah, this is something new,
Can I
so I
kick
feel
it?
like we can't say it.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. There's a little more professionalism in the anonymity.
I just
A
don't want
little
them to
bit.
know we're
of
in
the
a cult.
figures.
There's a little bit of professionality here.
Yeah, well, because I mean, like our friends are our friends,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah.
you know, he's a whole ass man doing his own life shit.
He's got kids.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Good for him.
For now.
And a wife. And
yeah, they won't be kids forever, guys.
And a whiskey/brandy collection in his basement with his own decanter.
For now. Just wait till he goes through it.
Wait till I steal that.
The decanter?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they're cool. I have one in my room. It's got a little tube in it where you can put ice so it shows the wine while it aerates.
Oh.
What is this?
A decanter.
What is that?
It's...
For booze.
Yeah, it makes it taste better.
Better.
Yeah, I was gonna do the air quotes, but I'm sitting on my hand. And remember, you have a friend named Jim.
You just haven't found him yet.
And we've been...
The Spectruminal Trinity.